Hey, welcome back to Queerful Consideration. I'm your host, JT. It is Thanksgiving here in the United States of America, and I am thankful for Legendary Cube. Man, I tell you what, I'm convinced. I am converted. I'm into it. This is fun. I was never a cube guy before, but this has been enjoyable. I like it. I like the different kind of drafting styles available. Since I'm not really going to be making time for any competitive paper Magic events anytime soon, this is just a fun way to get in there, to get a little value, as long as I can keep winning these play points and prize packs. The prize packs turn into tickets that are actually usable for other events, and the play points just kind of keep us rolling. Let's take a look at what we got here. Keranos, God of Storms, is just value that happens over and over and over again. Grizzlebrand is pretty darn sweet. Surak's fine. 5 mana 6/6 isn't bad. Vendilion's fine. Anafenza I don't think is really what I want to be doing, although man, that Anafenza with Rakamar value. Quit. Tulsimer Wolfblood. Nah, don't think so. Yeah, poops out a 4/4 wolf, but only one of them. And I don't think Ison's going to get there. Transguild Promenade's very good. And there's another Transguild Promenade type card in the deck. My question is really, do I want Keranos? Do I want Surak? Or do I want to go for the big G? I think I'm going to go Keranos. I really like being red-blue in this cube. Vendilion clicks fine, but not really where I want to be. I'm going to take Keranos just because it has a ton of upside and it's just recurring card advantage. So, yeah, let's go with that. Okay, wow, this pack. Kolaghan's Command. Disenchant is incredibly useful in this format. I mean, okay, dim abs first. Holy cow, Hannah's got dim abs. But outside of that, it's just such an incredibly useful effect for nuking people's ramp. Kolaghan's Command also really good for that. Dimir's Signet is my own ramp, and it's sometimes best just to get ahead. Venser Shaper Savant, very good interactive card, counters a spell, or remands a spell, or bounces a creature. I'm going to go with the ramp here. The Signets are never bad, and they are fixing, and it's all good stuff for me. Reki is pretty sweet. I do like these. I like these recurring incremental value cards in the cube. I like building a recurring value type of strategy. Let's see here. Dragon Lord Ojutai's fine. It definitely scries you into your good stuff, and it's only a 5-drop, which makes it better than a lot of the stuff that's going on in the cube. Muddle the Mixture's okay. Reflecting Pool is cool. It fixes you for all your doubles. I'm not a giant Azami fan. I think the Signet is just the thing here, or I could go for an Explosive Vegetation. But I'll go for the Signet here. Why not? It's opening up to splash, and it's ramping. Ojutai would also be a really good pick, though. Tell you what, let's take the Signets while we can. Speaking of Signets, there's another one, the Gruul Signet. Here, though, there's also a Frontier Bivouac, Chromatic Sphere. All of those cards are good. Careful Consideration is very good. I don't mind drawing 4 and discarding 2. But Kira Glassspinner is the card I'm going to pick here, and here's the reason why. As you may have noticed, removal is very, very sparse in this cube. So there's a good chance that your opponent only has 1 removal spell on hand, maybe none. The tendency is for somebody to just play a threat that can't be answered. You just don't have an answer for it, and then it runs them over. So Kira flies, it's evasive, but it also basically means your opponents have to have 2 removal spells to get anything done. And even in that case, they have to choose between killing Kira to open up your other creatures or to spend those 2 removal spells on your other big threat. So I really enjoy Kira. This doesn't actually help you make any more mana, just keeps the green mana around. Vorel. I would love to find a way to go off with. Speaking of dim abs, I would love to find a way to go off Vorel, but I just don't think that's going to happen. Yeah. Summoning your dragons out of your deck. Not really where I want to be. That's interesting. Could activate all our stuff. Toshiro. No. Sig. No thanks. Karn is interesting. Badlands. Ichor Wells. I'm going to go Ichor Wellspring. Or Traumatic Visions. Traumatic Visions has usefulness. It land cycles, which fixes. It can be a counterspell for the late game. Let's say I get some early threats out and I just want to keep up Traumatic Visions as I ping away. The card I'm really looking here for is my favorite card in Cube, Thada Adel, Acquisitor. Hammered Sakai definitely draws a ton of cards. Ryusei the Falling Star is a heck of a threat on the top end. This thing ramps. Tezzie's not bad. Don't mind a compulsive resource or a recoup either. The question is just between Ryusei or Tezzeret for me. I'm not sure which one's better. But I think Tezzy is actually better right now because I do have a few mana-producing artifacts. Arid Mesa, Searches, Esper Charms, not exactly out of reach for me here. Hythonia the Cruel. Ugh. Monstrous to Wrath. Monstrous to Wrath is a pretty good effect. This thing's not really where I want to be. But Muzio... nah. Doesn't dig as hard as I would like. I think instead I take the Cinder Glade here. Yeah, I'm going to take the Cinder Glade here. Muzio might actually loop around for me. Underground Tomb is good. Mikaeus the Unhallowed. It's pretty sweet. Non-human creatures with Undying. Door to Nothingness is a real possibility. Chromat is not as good as I would like it to be. Door to Nothingness, though, man, that can actually win games. Vishkal. Tajik is not where I want to be, but Vishkal's a beating, and it's big. Yeah, it's a stretch. Grizzlebrand made it back around. Here we could take Timoret on the red-black. It's an early drop. Temple's fine. Transguild Promenade, I think, is where I want to be, just because I'm not sure that I'm going to Grizzlebrand. And I don't really have a second color picked out. I'm just blue right now. Splashing for a little red. Yeah, I'm going to take this Transguild Promenade. Put those lands over in the side. Kolaghan's Command is too good to pass up. Just really good. Yeah, not much to argue about that. Totally worth splashing. Returns a creature card from graveyard to hand. Can zap things, zaps artifacts. Kolaghan's Command is sweet. Tragic Slip could be fine. Kolaghan's a fine 4/5 or a 5/5 attacker. Muddled Mixture, instant or sorcery spell, huh? I think I'll take Kolaghan. Jeskai Ascendancy is totally castable. Duress is not a dead card. Don't think Jeskai Ascendancy is where I want to be here. I'll take a Duress for the board. Badlands is excellent fixing since I'm seem to be going this red-black direction. Sign of Blood's not terrible. I'll put that in my deck. Esper Charm. Alright, go for the board. Alright, Thada Adel Acquisitor, man. If I could get Thada Adele in every cube, I would be a very, very happy cube drafter. Looks like the heavy blue commitment cards were coming around pretty late, so I might be in a good spot for it. Here, though, man, here's my reason to go blue-black. Drana Liberator of Malakir is insane early pressure. This is exactly the kind of card where you just cast it, they can't answer it, you win the game. I'm going to go for it. I think I'm going to go for it. Word of Seizing is fine. Steals a creature. Lightning Bolt, really good. I mean, hell, this thing... I can't believe they ever printed this. Target, Counterspell, or just Terror or Counterspell. Terror or Negate, I guess. On a split card. Wow. Just exactly what every control deck ever wanted. Chromatic Lantern would be excellent. But I'm going to go Drana. It's just too good. Just too good. And I'm going to look up for a lot of blue-black fixing here to make that possible. Moss Diamond is a ramping card. Explore, not where I want to be. I don't really want to get into green. Sword of the Animist. Well, alright. It does get the stuff out of my deck. Abishan is not where I want to be either. Yomiji, Sandstep Citadel, Prime Speaker. Prime Speaker is pretty sweet, but nah. Vendetta destroys creatures. It's pretty good. Vendetta or Sword of the Animist is really my question here. I don't think I've got enough early game that Sword is where I want to be. I'm going to take Vendetta here. Keep going along this black-blue path for right now. Chromatic Star is pretty good. Let's see, Sheoldred, Swamp Walk. That's just a beating. When that thing hits, it's just big and bad. Exava is also quite good. Basilisk Color I have been impressed with in the format. Fiery Faller's removal. But I'm going to go with Sheoldred here. I'm going to pass a Signet for it, which is odd, but Sheoldred is definitely a top-end finisher, and I'm happy to have it. Let's see. Drana. Colostria Bloodchief is quite good. Rings of Brighthearth. I do have some activated abilities, but not a ton, actually. More triggered abilities in this deck. Biting Gale is fine, but not great. I mean, all she does is flash in. I love this card. I loved it in Abyssin Restored. I love playing it at every opportunity. But of all the decks that are kind of... let's see, do I Daretti here? I can return artifact cards from my graveyard. I can sacrifice artifacts. Drana. So Godless Shrine is good. Honorworn Shaku is fine. Vampiric Tutor, definitely good. Uyo is okay, not great. Oblivion Stone is pretty cool. I'm going to go Vampiric Tutor. I'm going to want to be able to fetch up the stuff that I want to get. Horobi Death's Wail is also very good. But yeah, I think the Tutor is more powerful. And it looks like black-blue is open. Time Stop, a very powerful effect. Rurik Thar is just a crushing beating. If you can get that guy out into play, he basically stops the game for your opponent. Dark Depths, not really where I want to be. Whispers of the Muse is fine. Black Sun Zenith is a pretty good wipe. Grenzo isn't bad. Grinzo gets pretty big. I'm going to go with Rurik Thar here, just because it does end games. But I don't really have the mana for it right now. Cruel Ultimatum, my god. So we have a Sidisi, which tutors. We have a Savage Lands, which fixes for black, red, and green, which helps me get my Rurik Thar into the deck. I love Cruel Ultimatum, but it seems like a bit of a stretch here. So, yeah. Fellwar Stone. Fellwar Stone's not bad. That's a pretty good mana rock. I'm going to take the Fellwar Stone. In a format that's producing this much mana from everybody else's lands, I like it. Phyrexian Arena is pretty good. I don't love that. Sky Sunder, not so much. Misty Rainforest, not fetching the stuff I want to fetch. Arcanus. Do I want to draw those cards and get some more blue into the deck, into the battlefield? Sunken Ruins fixes for double blue and double black. I think that is very much where I want to be. The question is, do I want a Phyrexian Arena to go with it? No, you know what? I think the Sunken Ruins is more important to me here. Bloodstained Mire, Yawgmoth's Agenda, or Spite and Malice. I think Spite and Malice is where I want to be. Bloodstained Mire fixes me pretty nicely. Mimeoplasm's also not terrible. Nah, I'll take Spite and Malice. Diabolic Tutor, Scrubland, Sandstep Citadel. I think Sandstep Citadel is just strictly better. Crows and Verge fixes for colors that I don't really need. Yeah, this is just strictly better. Diabolic Tutor, though. I'll take the Sandstep Citadel. Example Bloodrich came back around. That's pretty cool. This thing, no thanks. 3 Knights or Gaining Life. Life's Legacy is a sorcery. Rakdos Bloodwitch, why not? Homicidal Seclusion came back around. Croson Grip, also very good. I'm going to take the Homicidal Seclusion just in case. Hirobi's Death Whale. Oh, yeah, we're doing it. We're doing it. And Grinzo came around. Yeah, I'm into it. Sphinx Bone 1, get out of here. So it looks like we're building ourselves a Grixis deck. Maybe splashing for a Rurik Thar. Maybe splashing for a Vish Call. I think Rurik Thar just ends games faster than... there. Yeah, I think Rurik Thar just ends games faster than Vish Call does. Alright, what do we got here? Mikaeus the Lunarch isn't bad. I'm not a giant fan. Crux of Fate, destroying all creatures. I like Shizo Death Storehouse when used with Hirobi Deathswale. That's pretty nasty. I do like Sphere of the Suns. I like Shu Yun as an early creature here. Do I want the early creature pressure? I'm not going to be able to activate it all that often, but, I mean, this thing hits, and it hits pretty hard. I think Shu Yun's going to come back around. I think what I want here is the Crux of Fate. Not that I'm, jammed up at the 5-drop slot or anything. But I'll be happy if the Temple of Deceit or Shizo Death Storehouse or Shu Yun come back around. And I think a little more removal for my black-blue control is what I want to do. Basically, if I do end up in a situation where my early Drana gets beat, Hero's Downfall, 4C, Negate. Catacombs is fine. Karlov's meh. Contagion Clasp, meh. Infinite Rage. Myriad Landscape's pretty cool. Puts them on the battlefield tapped. I think I just take the Hero's Downfall here. I have a lot of removal at this point. Only 13 creatures, which makes Homicidal Seclusion look pretty good for me. Don't think I'm going to be doing Conflux. Stomping Ground is totally reasonable here. Fire Diamond is totally reasonable here. Honden is good. Tribute is good, but not great. I'd love a Kodama's Reach, but I'm not majorly green. So I think I'm just going to take the Fire Diamond as another little piece of ramp here. Although the Stomping Ground would also be just fine. Don't mind having a few rocks. Rafik of the Many. Oh man, can I get away with Rafik? I only have two lands that produce white, the Transgo Promenade and the Sandstep Citadel. I have one Signet that produces white. That's technically 3 sources. Oh man. Temple of Silence would give me another source. Golgari Signet is pretty cool. Indrix Heart's fine. I'm not crazy about it. Mizzix is meh. I think I just take the Signet. Do I take the Signet or do I take the Sulphur Falls? I think I take the Sulphur Falls. I just don't need the green that badly, and I want to make sure my mana is solid. Polluted Delta is excellent fixing for us here. Silumgar's Command is very good. Yeah. Counter a spell, bounce a permanent, kill a creature, bounce a permanent, kill a planeswalker. Visara the Dreadful is removal on a stick. I'm going to go with Visara for my big top end. I've got a few top end finishers here. Visara does the trick. Huh. Polluted Delta is excellent fixing, but I think Visara does the trick here. Silumgar's Command would be excellent, though. Not gonna argue that. Ultimate Price could be very good. Lavalanche is fine. Sorin's Vengeance is a little bit out of my price range. Talisman of Indulgence actually does great things. So does Shrine, the Honden Shrine of Seeing Winds. Don't mind drawing a card every turn. I'll go for a Talisman over the Ultimate Price. Yeah. Yeah, I like it. I've got a black-blue Signet, a red-white Signet, a Felwar Stone, Fire Diamond, and Talisman. My red-black fixing looks pretty good. My blue could use some help. Sunken Hollow does that. Rush of Knowledge also can draw me a million cards. Tazagur delves, and I'm probably going to end up with some stuff in my graveyard. Having a Tazagur around seems good. Do I just ditch blue at this point? Rush of Knowledge is good. I think I want the Sunken Hollow over the Tazagur. Tromocritus, I don't need it. Underground Sea. Oh man, Spirit of the Night. Flying Trample, Haste, Pro Black. Oh. Marchesa's pretty sweet. Do I want a black-blue Talisman or an Underground Sea? I think I want a black-blue Talisman. I think I want a ramp. Shizo Death Storehouse and Shuyun and Temple of Deceit all came back around. Do I want the Shuyun, the Temple, or the Shizo? I like the idea of Shizo with Hirobi's Death's Wail. I just like that combo. I think I just take Shizo here. Verdant Catacombs fixes for my green. For C, definitely draw some cards. Scry 4, then draw 2. I think Tezzy actually goes here. Well, untapping artifacts ramps me pretty hard. I just don't have any artifact finishers in my deck. Verdant Catacombs. Yeah, I'll take it. Haunted of Night's Reach isn't bad. Tribute to Hunger isn't bad. Naturalize is a great effect. Again, Disenchant is excellent in this format. Haunted of Night's Reach. Haunted of Night's Reach. Sure. I'll put you in the board, Honden. Golgari Signet. Unlikely to get there, but I'll throw it in the deck. God's Willing. Oh man, that's going to be obnoxious. Tainted Pact, sure. I don't really know how that's going to play out. Sacking creatures to gain life is not where I want to be. Soren's Vengeance is a pretty big finisher, but I don't think I'm going to be casting it. Yeah, so I kind of ended up morphing, not really a mono black deck, but a heavy black deck. So let's see what I get rid of here. Got a lot of mana rocks. Keranos is just good recurring value. My 2 Dranas are excellent. Still haven't answered the question of what happens when I cast this Drana at the same time as I cast this Drana. And I think the answer might be nothing. Vampire Ally versus Vampire Shaman? Yeah. By the way, great art on this Drana. Not bad art on this Drana. I like this Drana better, I think, as a creature. Yeah. So what happens if I get rid of the blue? Well, I lose my ability to Tezzy. I lose my Traumatic Vision. And Traumatic Vision isn't exactly key here. I like what Kira does, just protecting all of my creatures. What do I cut? What do I cut? So, let's sort this group creature separately. I've got Vendetta, Malice, Crux, Hero's Downfall as removal. I've got Sign in Blood as card draw, and that probably goes. I just don't think it's quite good enough here. I do have Vampiric Tutor to go get the things that I want. Tezzy can seek up more artifacts. I don't think Golgari Signet gets there. Boros Signet may not get there. I've got Talismans in red-black and blue-black. Fire Diamond, Felrar Stone, Dimir Signet. I may just run my on-color rocks and streamline my mana. Now, the only other creature in here that I'm thinking about putting in is Rurik Thar. Rurik Thar goes a huge way. It really does. It's a beating. Also, possibly a Vishkal. But let's see what we've got in terms of on-color lands. So, Shizo's fine. It goes in the deck. It replaces a swamp. Sunken Hollow. Sunken Ruins. Sulphur Falls, Transguild Promenade. So, yeah, these are pretty good in terms of a suite of lands. I think running 16 lands with these signets is probably fine. Probably? I don't know, I do have a lot that I can do with this, and Grinzo's pretty sweet. Traumatic Vision as a way to counter their unbeatable spell is pretty good. Like, when I see a Maelstrom Wanderer, or whatever the hell that thing is that cascades twice, I'm going to want this around. I don't think I can just splash off of Cinderglade because I don't have fetches. Verdant Catacombs can fetch my Cinderglade, or if I run Verdant Catacombs, Cinderglade, and Sandstep Citadel, I'll have 3 green sources in the deck for Rurik Thar. Running Rurik Thar, though, is a 6-drop. Is it better than Basara? I don't think it is. I think I'm just going to run this. I'm going to put all these in the deck. So, what do I have here? Well, I've got 4 red cards. And I've got 1, 2... No, 5 red cards. And then I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red sources. So I'm going to want a mountain. Then I've got double blue all over the place. What do I have that actually makes blue? Well, I've got Ruins, Hollow, Falls. That's 3. 4 for the Promenade, 5 for the Signet, 6 for the Domination. I think I want at least 3 islands here. And then the rest being swamps sounds good. In terms of swamps, I got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, plus all of my 11, 12. Yeah, okay, I've got it. So, what else do I want to throw in the deck here? That's only 15 lands. How about I add one of each of those? Go to 18 lands? That's a lot. I don't have card draw. Do I really want to be drawing that much land? Vampiric Tutor gets me what I want. Grenzo can use the land. Tainted Pack draws most of my deck. Could possibly deck me. Huh. I think I'd take out 1 swamp, run 17 lands, and yeah, see how that goes. Who knows? This might be terrible, but I'm glad to try it, and I'll see you in round 1.